gorgeous. 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 Pato lechitas. Pato lechita, pato lechitas. Start feel bad about it. Oh, let me charge it. Who the fuck is Sean? Who the fuck is Perita? It's a filter on. There, put the filter on. No filter. I'm in Miami Beach. I'm not in Miami. I'm at home being fat. Being fat as hell, bro. Dude, I hate how fucking low this fucking shit, this bed is. Oh my god, I can barely hear anything. I definitely fucked up my mic, bro. Let me see. Yup, I definitely fucked it up. Let me see. Yep, that's how I fucked it up. Can I pause it? Hold on. Mic these. You got me tripping. Ooh, stumbling. Oh. My neck popped. Hey, what's up? Nothing. Being whack as hell. It was right you. I still need 800 more hours of watch time hour. What you do today? Nothing. What about you? Boom, 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 boom. Kitty cat and apple bottom cheese. Boots with the bird. Benita had the whole club looking at her. Oh, where is it? Oh, she's on my bed, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm starting to feel bad about it. In fact, thanks, Joelle. Tidwell. Thanks. Very much appreciated. I don't like it. Smells like crap. Oh, I need to lose weight. I'm too scared to weigh myself right now. Have you fixed the bed? Well, I tried to order some freaking bolts today from Home Depot, but they were out of stock. I bought the stuff to fix the holes in the wall though. So I'm gonna do that. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Hopefully soon. Probably tomorrow. Yeah. Sensation. My eyes look all crazy, bro. I ate sopes. I ate I ate 4 sopes. Started to feel good about it. I'm gonna fucking double chin, dude. I don't like it. Oh, I feel like it's good in these. Let me take off the fucking filter. I feel like it makes something like so blurry. Yeah, it smooths out things. I don't like the way that shit looks. My eyelashes look all wonky. Wonky. Does this ring light even make a difference? Turn it on. Doesn't make a huge difference. Let me see. It doesn't look better about the ring light, like all up in my face. The ring light is so white. But I bought a new bulb. It's like a yellow lighting. Hi. Yeah, I'm good. I said there were 16. Well, I mean, it's fine. 16, it's not like, I don't talk about like really explicit content. Like, it's just, Yeah, I try to keep it G. I try to keep it PG, at the very least. And if it's PG-13, I mean, you have to be 13 or older, right? I mean, if I talk about PG-13 topic, I mean, I assume he's older than 13. So that's good enough. Oh, I did buy the gray socks, but they're coming to the mail. Let me see. Yeah, I don't want to buy the bolts. I should be here by the 15 or 24. Let me see if they're already in my city. Can you see? Oh, it's on its way to my city. I bought a black sweater again too. Gray socks, and yeah. I bought the same black sweater. I'll unbox it in front of everyone. I mean, I'll unpack it. Okay. Oh, my tooth looks ugly. Well, not really, not a haul. I'll just open it all live so people won't think that it's a seam sweater. Just to prove a point. No, I'm too fat to do that. Cállese el hocico. I'm too fat to do all that. We with all of that. How old are you? 16. I'm 12 and what is this? Bye. Get the fuck out of here. Bye. Bye, bye. That's why I'm gonna delete your attack. Damn, I almost dropped that shit, dude. That would have been horrendous. Horrendous. Hold on, y'all.
Incredible! All right, these pets aren't going to hatch themselves. Let's go! I was not prepared for this. I truly wasn't because I opened this TikTok showcase thinking it was going to be the usual, some random links, a couple cute vines, maybe a blender. Nothing dramatic. Just harmless little shock my faves energy. And then I saw the total 236 items. I literally had to scroll back like, no, that can't be right. 236 is not, I added a few things. 236 is a catalog. It is a mini warehouse. It is intention. And that is when it clicked for me. This isn't just a showcase. This is a blueprint. Because when someone's public storyline revolves around tight living, instability, and everything being about the kids, the way you direct your showcase isn't random. It is not accidental. It is not casual. It is priorities neatly stacked in thumbnail form. So we're not speculating, we're not reaching, we're not playing Olympics. We're looking at exactly what is listed, exactly what's visible, exactly what's chosen and added. Because once you start counting, the narrative writes itself. So here's the breakdown, and I'm saying this upfront because I know how people get. No vibes, no. Well, actually, no.
Yeah, right there. No, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine if they're 16. I mean, I don't know. I think it's fine. Where don't you look like modern than others chats? So like, just in case you're not here, that person can be here. Cause you be wanting everywhere. I saw.
Which means the kids are sitting at 13.1% of the entire showcase, while 86.9%
I saw like coincidentally while scrolling through lives.
Until you translate them into real
I was
life.
like,
13%
whoa.
is not kids first. 13% is kids are mentioned. 13% is the little side blame that comes with the meal, not the meal. And this is exactly why I start with math, because math doesn't care if someone says you're being mean. Math doesn't care if someone says it's not that deep. Math doesn't care if someone says it's just a showcase. A showcase with 236 items.
Bro, y'all be bragging out.
Choices, link after link after link.
Love you all, thanks.
Those choices land on the
I put my social medias right here in the corner with the three dots. You click it and go to description. And my social media there. You're gonna hit me up there.
then the kids are not centered there. They are
If
present
you want.
technically, but they are present the way a garnish is present. And no
No,
one
I'm
will
not
ask you
gonna
to
unmod
invent a
him.
story that isn't
It's
there.
fine. He's
I'm
mod.
asking you to hold on to the most basic, visible truth we have so far, that 1% versus
I think he's old enough.
86.8%, because once we start scrolling through what those items actually are,
Hi,
that number
Ricky.
starts making a little too much sense.
I think he's
When
old
you
enough.
scroll through the showcase, the first thing you notice is how fast it gets adult coded. Like,
Neil
you're
get
not
my
scrolling through, let
eyebrows
me
like
build a
professionally
stable
cut
life
or
for my
shaped.
kids. You're scrolling through new era, new
I feel
me,
like
new toys.
this one
it's
is thicker
lifestyle.
than this one.
It's wants, it's comfort upgrades, it's little treats and little gadgets and little conveniences that add up to one very loud message. Right off the bat, there is
Hold on, y'all.
Juice, Smart Ring, which okay, love that for him. I guess we're starting strong with accessory tech energy. Then we're seeing Candy, cute, then breathe, like, alright, creatine is officially on the list. So we're in gym content era now, wellness era, performance era. Meanwhile, the kids are somewhere off the side, like, oh, we're doing this today. And then there's a Montessori item. Montessori item and a baby mat. And yes, these count for the children because they actually apply. It is wild how quickly that little moment of okay kids happens, and then the showcase immediately swerves right back into adult priority. And like it touched child related content for 2 seconds and said, alright, that's enough of that. Because next we've got nail polish, then the famous ab roller, then a body persona, then a vibration plate, also on Stephanie's wish list. And I'm sorry, but I have to stop there because a portable sauna and a vibration plate are not really, we're focusing on stability. That's given I'm building a spa.
Heavy manager?
That barely has
Who
room
said that?
to breathe. That is
I mean, I feel like I haven't seen you on here that much. Like,
it's not even
frosted cupcake like is like almost like daily, like daily here. So maybe you're like more consistently online over here. But
just
yeah.
stuff you add when you're shopping mode, when you're in shopping mode, not survival mode. And that is the tone that showcase sets right from the jump.
Let's look at what's in there. Let's look at the amount of things for Drew and Stephanie versus the kids. And some other things I find that are quite suspicious to have in your showcase if you don't use or have these things. Let's take a look.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
First, keep in mind that there's 236 products in her showcase. We're going to tell you how many of these things are for the kids. There's Drew's Smart Ring. Okay, we've got some candy. Apparently she needs creatine now. Okay, we got a Montessori item and a baby mat. Some nail polish, the famous ab roller, portable sauna, and a vibration plate is next on Stephanie's wish list. It's wild. Okay, I guess we're gonna count snacks too. Mind you, I think everything she has in her showcase is junk.
It's just helpful.
Colored
I don't know.
pencils.
I don't think you
A
can.
kid's shampoo bowl and
I don't think you
kids
can.
nail polish.
Oh, here's like super lady.
Okay. A compression leg massager. There's Stephanie's Ugg boots. TikTok shop. I'm not counting a baby casting kit. I think that's boring. Not for the kids. A sensory toy will count for the kids. More colored pencils and an outfit and a children's book. Another hair dryer. She already has one. I guess I'm gonna count these. More skincare and shapewear for Stephanie and makeup she wants. A Montessori board for the kids. Mind you, she won't buy her money on this stuff. Like we've never seen this in the motel room. Some more pens, again, boring, more toys. Another sticker bug thing. Some pajama pants. A game. Count for all those things. Some more kitchen appliances, more pencils for the kids. Again, there are a lot of cool things when it comes to children, and she just doesn't care
Oh, I
about
like the
that
Lil
stuff.
Durk song.
All for
You know
her.
the song is really
All
good by
for
Gerald
her.
Dirk? The song called Don't
A
I?
light bulb, that's what you need when you're homeless.
What was it called? I be having jokes tonight. I hang with them. I hang with them folks tonight. Just like something.
Because
they
why do you have a
can.
cat bed in your showcase,
So
Stephanie, if
name
you
more
don't have a
things that
cat?
I like. I could name
I think
I could
the
name a
only
couple
reason you
things
would
that
have
I
a
like.
product
Yeah,
for
I
a
don't
cat
know,
or
don't know,
kitten
don't know,
would be
yeah.
if you had one.
Weird
Weird to have that if you don't have it, right? You don't have a
for all
cat.
of my names, and I miss all of my names.
So, a new gaming
Oh yeah,
chair. We'll count the baby wrap as well.
that's my dog.
Snickers, again, boring. Count it. Another juicer. Game and some sour cranberries. Tank tops for Drew. Gotta have that. T-shirts for Drew. Okay, a dress. More clothes. Another gaming chair. We've got two options for Drew. Again, let's stop. What is that? Because again, why would you have a Zen desktop trash can if you didn't use Zen pouches? Keep going. Keep going. Stickers, again, boring, but I'm gonna count it. For self-awareness stuff. She got it. I just keep reading that. Famous math. Okay, I think we're back at the beginning. So let's just do the math and look at what's in front of us. 236 items in the showcase and 31 items were for the children. That's 13.1% of things in her showcase were for her kids, while 86.9% of things in her showcase are for Stephanie and
That's a girl. That's a girl dog.
she also put a
How dare you
window
misgender her?
cat bed and a Zen desktop trash can. And if I didn't use Zen pouches or have a cat, I wouldn't have those things in my showcase. I don't.
Now, to be fair, there are kids' items in there, and I'm not going to pretend there aren't because they are.
I hate that
It's
song. That
just
song
the
is
way the
stupid.
show up is giving sprinkle, sprinkle.
Was there even really close to that folk? I don't know. I feel like that's like
So as
reaching.
we scroll over here to colored pencils first, which is fine. Pencils are pencils. Kids can use them. Then there is a kids shampoo ball, again, practical, kid related, that counts. Then kids nail polish, cute, that counts too. So yes, so those are children's
I
items.
hate that
And I'm
song.
not
Well, I
going
don't
to.
hate it. I just think it's like
What's so
whatever.
jarring is how fast the showcase goes right
I think my dog is half rock. I don't know why. I'm not sure.
the pages are
She's
actually
like
saying
big.
that the
She's
children
bigger than
can't
like a
read
regular
for 3
pit bull.
seconds. Because immediately after that, we're looking at a compression
I don't know.
leg massager. And listen, I'm not mad at leg massagers as a concept. I'm mad at the timing and the priorities. Like, we're doing cryons and then we're doing spa recovery equipment. Okay.
Oh, I like the song Downfall by Lil Durk and Lil Baby. My downfall. When there's a part where he says, and I know you told you, and you don't know that you told something that the song Downfall. You my downfall. I hope you know that shit can be around rocks. I can show you this. You gonna do what you do. You gonna do what you do to make a dog food. You got a good bitch. You better send a law
It
school
looks
to do
sentimental on a product page, but it's not really anything. It's not solving anything. It's not supporting day-to-day life. So no, we're not counting that toward for the kid because it's not the same category as actual child focused supplies. Then
Oh,
you
let's
see
send it
accessories for that
decline.
absolutely counts. So that's one of the few things in
She's
that
cute, Lil Durk.
this stretch that feels clearly meant for a child's actual use. Then we're back to more colored pencils and an outfit again. Yes, kids related. Then that counts. Then there's a child's book, and I'll always count that because at least that is something that belongs to a kid-centered list. And then another hair dryer, and this is where I have to laugh a little because adding another one to the stack, like hair dryers. quick grabs,
My bad.
kid items that don't require planning, don't require budgeting, and don't require asking bigger questions like, okay, what would actually improve a kid's daily life right now? And then the showcase swerves again into adult territory with more children, with more kitchen appliances. Like, we're doing sticker books and then we're doing appliances because why not? And then we see more pencils for the kids tossed in there. And this is the part that matters to the logic of the whole list. TikTok shop is overflowing with genuinely useful kids style things. Things that are actually interesting, actually supportive, actually helpful in a real day-to-day way. But this showcase doesn't read like someone scrolling with intention for the kids. It reads like someone grabbing a few kid items here and there. Well, the real energy stays locked on adults once. And if you're counting the kid items, you're also watching the pattern happen in real time. Kid item, quick pivot, back to adult upgrades. That is the rhythm of the list, and that is why the ratio ends up looking the way it does. As the scrolling keeps going, the vibe becomes clearer and clearer. It's a lot of her and a lot of you.
Forgot that I got this for Drew a while ago, and he's been using it. Now he's been using it every couple of days because he's been wanting to get one of these for a while, just to like keep an actual shave on his. If you don't know, he keeps his head bald, but he had just been using like the typical like adversity friend, like a slow runner, and he wanted something that he could just get like a smooth. He uses this for like 2-3 minutes. The rounded edges also makes it like so you can go around your ear probably just go around different spots on your head without cutting. He hasn't had any issues with it. He's loving it so far. So.
And then we get a moment that's almost comedic. It wasn't so out of place. I liked Belle because that is what you need when you're homeless. Then more outfits, and then we hit the first wait. What item? We have to stop for a second because why is there a cot bed in the showcase? Specifically, a window cot bed. Because if you don't have a cot, you don't buy a cot bed. And if you don't have a cot, you typically don't even add a cot bed to your curated showcase. So the question is straightforward. Why is a cot product in the showcase if there is no cot? Because the only reason you have a product specifically for a cot or fitted is if you have one. And if you don't have one, it's weird to have a seat. Have it sitting there. That's the point. Back to adult wish list, gaming chairs, juices, and more. And the scroll doesn't slow down either. And you get chairs, bookshelves, stickers, and yes, here for still keep adjusting so they go in the tally. Then we're back to appliances,
Get down.
right almost like a gam and some sour cream. And after that, it's into the B section. Tank tops for Drew, t-shirts for Drew, then jeans, then and I'm just going to think, okay, we've done the gaming chair, here comes another gaming chair. So now I'm using a gaming chair. It is 2 choices, 2 options, and I know everything we've already seen about stability. And then we hit the next one bottom moment, a Zen desktop trash can. And again, the question is simple. Why would you have that in your showcase if you don't use Zen pouches? Because if you don't use them, you're not shopping for an dedicated desktop trash can for them. So either it's in the list for a reason or it's in the list because the showcase isn't actually about necessity. It's about one, the needs and lifestyle choices. At a certain point in the scroll, you start seeing things that feel like you back at the beginning. There is the self-awareness book, and it's noted that she got it. And honestly, I hope she's reading that. Then there's the famous mask, and then it's like, okay, we've seen enough. Because at this point, the showcase tells the story without anyone needing to add extra. So once you've scrolled enough to realize this is a wonder, you do the only thing that actually settles the others in town. There are 236 items in the showcase, and when you tell you what's for the children, it comes to 31 items. That means 13.1% of the showcase is for the kids, and 86.9% is for secondary through. And what makes the number hit harder is what else is sitting in the list. No card bed.
Hi, boy, kitty.
Then there's trash can, because if you don't have a card, you don't add a card bed to your showcase. And if you don't use Zen pouches, you don't show what is really just
Hi, boy, kitty. Espérate.
for them. Those are environmental essentials.
Oh, never mind.
So when you step back and look at the showcase as a whole, it stops feeling like nobody has to reach. Don't listen to At the end
Don't
of the
see
day,
that
this
shit.
isn't about whether adults can want nice things. It's about proportion
Oh yeah,
and
y'all
what
saw
is
that
the
shit.
draw of the attention when the public image is that kids come first. The global showcase with 236 items isn't an
My
accident.
bad.
It is curated, it is chosen, it is a collection of what someone thinks about, wants, and is comfortable putting out there. And when
Can't find
hopefully
anything
that
that's
one of
wrong.
those items are for the children, and that's not a tiny
Yeah,
detail,
we
it is
did.
an obvious detail. So that is very amplified. 236 total, 31 for the kids, 13.1%, 86.9%. If that doesn't bring you,
Don't worry
I
about it,
don't know
bro.
what will. And if you want to keep going through these showcases like this, we can, we can because the more you look, the clearer the pattern gets.
At
But
the
for
end,
now,
I start my
I've
life
already told the story.
to use the white man's angle. Wait, Dave. Oh my god.
Okay,
Interesting.
so these are shooting a situation. Yeah, this is the part where it's okay, the regular internet mess. And it started feeling like the court finally looked up and said, all right, enough. Because before this, the whole thing had that same tired online chaos energy, people talking, people speculating, people acting like it was just another scandal to refresh and react to. But the second the court decided how Bond had been violated, the vibe changed immediately. And that is the part people need to understand. When someone is out of office, that is basically the court giving them a chance to stay out of jail while the case is still going on. But it comes with rules. Real rules, not cute little suggestions, not do your best rules. So when the judge decides those conditions are violated, that is the court saying we gave you room and you mishandled it. That is exactly why this matters, because once the judge determined Ash violated her bond conditions, her bond was revoked, just like that. And when bond gets revoked, that is not the legal version of a gentle warning tap on the shoulder. That is the court taking the keys back. She was taken into custody. She was put into jail again. So this was not a pure remorse. This was not one of those situations where everybody talks big and then nothing happened. Something did happen. That is the turning point on this whole story. Because once somebody gets released and then ends up right back in jail because the court says they broke the rules, that tells you the judge's patience is already thinning out. That grace period looking real filthy. But the story did not stop there because the court did allow her back out again. It just did not happen in the same easy terms. This time the release came with a much tighter leash. To find that the bond had been violated, the court set a new bond amount, $25,000. Now in practice, that does not usually mean someone is handing over the full 25 grand in cash. In Texas, people often get out by posting 10% to a benchmark. So the practical amount to get released again was around $2,500. And once that payment was made, Ash got back out.
New Ash Trevino bond conditions are very strict. She is forced to literally be sober once and for all. So as we found out yesterday, yes, the judge said that she did violate her bond. So she made a higher bond of $25,000, and she posted 10%. She was out yesterday, but the bond conditions are, the initial ones are the same, right? She's not allowed to purchase, possess, or use alcohol, illegal substances, THC, or weapons. But now she is going to be part of the pretrial supervision program, meaning that she has to report as directed. She has to pay a supervision fees, and she has to submit to random testing. But it goes further because now she has a GPS ankle monitor and the Scrum alcohol monitor. Is it two different ones, the same ones? I have no idea. But as we talked about yesterday, the Scrum alcohol monitor tests her body for alcohol every 30 minutes. And it sends the results to the authorities. And she can't tamper with the device. And I have heard that it is pretty sensitive, so she really can't use any alcohol products like, I don't know, deodorant or whatever. And now we find out that she does have a curfew now. She has to stay home between 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. And she has to stay in Ellis County and the surrounding counties. She had to surrender her passport, so she can't go visit her, family in the UK. And she can't leave Texas. And she also can't talk about this online at all. Like, that's something that we're laughing at. I was really hoping that she couldn't be on social media at all. But I guess, it is what it is. Social coverage certificate, that kind of just takes them out of being part of one. But if she does violate any of those bonds, the judge can revoke her bond again and send her back to jail, and I don't know what would happen next. But this is actually going to be pretty expensive for her because she has to pay a lot of fees. So she has to pay to be part of the pretrial supervision program. That's about $40 to $60 a month. Then she actually has to pay herself for the random substance and alcohol testing, and depending on the test, it could be $10 or it could be $50. She has to pay that for herself. And she also has to pay to be part of the scrum alcohol monitor, and that's around $300 to $400. So it's about $250 good. And she had to pay one-time fee yesterday, and I heard she paid extra to get everything done really quick so she can go home. So all this is gonna cost her about $500 a month. Now, those people that are buying her Cameo, you guys are paying for that. But I am kind of concerned with Fester and Ash because we know that they have substance abuse issues, they're alcoholics. Now Ash is having to be sober for the first time in years, and Fester's not going to sober that for her. I mean, he can have the alcohol in the house, she just can't be touching it, and she can't be drinking it. And we know that the relationship is toxic. So we've seen the posture of other house. We saw that one time when Fester kicked her out. So I think we're going to see something happening soon. Plus, I don't think she's going to be able to stay sober for long because I don't even think she's doing AA or stuff like that, like things that I can actually help her make a positive change in her life. But I don't know. What do you guys think about this? How long do you think she's going to be able to stay sober for? Do you think she's going to be able to do it up until the court case? Because that's what in the comments. I'll keep you updated.
Maybe on some bullshit. Hopefully tomorrow I can find the freaking study. Change my bed.
So yes, she's out, but this is not free. This is monitored, restricted, watched, and very much a probationary vibes without calling it that. It is a kind of release where the court is basically saying you can be out, but do not get comfortable. And once you look at the conditions, it becomes painfully obvious they meant that. One of the biggest changes is that Ash now has to participate in the Ellis Country Cybersecurity program. And I know that sounds like one of those dry legal phrases that makes your eyes glaze over, but it matters.
Yeah, I wanted $1,000. That would be cool. Where's your Snapchat? My Snapchat is.
I'm hoping everything magically works out. There is now active oversight, structure, monitoring. Somebody somewhere expects compliance. She has to report as directed. She has to follow the instructions of that supervision program, and she has to remain compliant the whole time. So this is not release in the casual sense. This is the court making sure her life now comes with check-ins, conditions, and a legal babysitter vibe, which honestly tells you everything about how seriously the judge is taking the area of violation.
Here are the restrictions. And let's read it because I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a paralegal, I'm not a judge, but I want to read it. So anyways, it says right there that no, she's not allowed to be in places that serve 51% or more. And then it says over here that she has to wear the GPS camera monitoring device. She has a curfew where she has to be back at the residence for 8 p.m.
Liar.
And then she can leave the residence at 6 in the morning.
Her name is
She has
Chichi.
to surrender her
Or
passport
Shay
she doesn't have when she's not filed for one.
Vercetti.
She has to take some video classes. Yeah. Hopefully she has somebody there to read and like explain it at her level. Maybe 5th grade, 3rd grade level. I don't know. And the cherry on top is this. Defendant shall not post any references to details of facts regarding, etc. of her case. What do we say? No social media posting? Well, just regarding the case. She cannot talk about her case. Thank you, Judge. Reading is fundamental.
Because if the court thought this was minor, they should not be stocking all of this of her. But they did. And it gets even more serious from there. This is where the situation starts sounding less like out and bond and more like the court installed an entire tracking package. Ash now has a GPS alcohol monitor, and she also has a scram alcohol monitor. Yes, 2 devices. The GPS alcohol monitor tracks where she is. Simple. Authorities can check whether she's staying in the areas she's supposed to stay in.
I think I'll go stream on a different website.
So if she decides to wander outside the
Let me get some
alcohol
money.
that is
I
not
need
something
money.
she can
There wasn't
explain.
going to be money here, so I
Aware
didn't
of
do it.
vibes and confusion. The monitor is
So I'm
really
gonna leave.
there to track location. Then you have the scrub
I'm gonna
monitor,
change it.
which is the one that really makes the situation feel extra serious. That device checks for alcohol through the skin every 30 minutes and sends the results to authorities every 30 minutes. That is not the court saying, please don't drink. That is the court saying, we're going to know. And there is also the tampering issue. You cannot just mess with the device and act clueless later. Removing it, interfering with it, or trying to get around it creates its own problem. So when people say these new bond conditions are strict, that is not
I'm
drama.
gonna leave,
That is
y'all.
literally what is
It's all
happening.
out.
The court set
Everything,
up
please.
so her movements can be tracked and alcohol use can be tracked too. That is not a regular release.
I
That
wish
is
I did.
released with surveillance
I
accessories.
hit
And on top of
nothing.
the monitors, she now has a
Why are you
coffee.
fronting? Do I
She has
hit
to be home at
anything?
8 p.m. and she cannot leave the residence again until 6 a.m. So
It's
no,
cold
it
at
is not
night.
house
And
arrest,
you
but it is
pop
also
out
not freedom the way people usually use the word. So she can move around during the day within the approved areas, but once 8 p.m. hits, that is
I don't know. I
when she
just
needs
had
to be
that. I've
back
had
at
that
the
username for
residence.
like a long
Then
time.
she
I'm
stays
gonna
there
change it to
overnight until
Clorox.
6 in the morning. That changes the rhythm of daily life
Yeah, I'm
more.
gonna change it right now. Actually.
Late night plans, dead. Spontaneous evenings, nonsense, also dead. Only one badly timed decision after dark, potentially way more expensive than
I'm not
whatever
the
she
fuck to
was
get you.
leaving the house for in the first place. And because that GPS monitor is already on her, this is something the court can verify. So the curfew is not symbolic, it is not there for decoration, it is there to be enforced. Another major condition is geography. Ash has to remain within Ellis County, and the countries directly surrounding it unless she gets permission to leave that area. So her role just got smaller. She could not just decide to take off somewhere and sort it out later. She has to stay inside the approved region unless supervision says otherwise. And that is not the only limit. She also cannot leave the state of Texas. And on top of that, she has to surrender her passport. So between the curfew, the GPS monitor, the county restrictions, the no leaving Texas rule, and the passport surrender, the court has got multiple layers of control on her movement. Basically, that is not a go where you want, just behave setup.
Okay.
That is a we would actually prefer to know where you are at all times setup. And considering she already had a bond revoked once, that is probably not surprising. Another huge part of these conditions is the ban on alcohol, illegal substances, THC, and ribbons. That means she cannot purchase them, process them, or use them. And again, that is not just a rule sitting on the paper collecting dust. The scrap monitor is checking for alcohol every 30 minutes. She is also subjected to random drug and school testing. There was a test that came back negative, and that is the part where the case stands right now. But the bigger point is that testing can continue at random moving forward. So compliance is not a one-time event, it is ongoing, which honestly makes this a lot harder to fake. You cannot really do the whole, I am fine now, everybody relax routine, where the board has both a monitor and a random testing in the mix. There is also allocation-based rule tied to alcohol. Under Texas law, if a business makes 51% or more of its revenue from alcohol sales, it is classified as a bar. Under these bond conditions, Ash is not allowed to be inside places like that. And that matters because the court is not just regulating what she can consume, it is regulating what environments she can even step into. So this is not just do not drink, it is also do not put yourself in places where alcohol is the main event. If she enters one of those businesses, that could create another violation, which means even the setting matters, not just the behavior. Another part of the bond conditions is the residence requirement. Ash has to live in a specific residence tied to the supervision arrangement. So housing is now part of the court structure too. That means the court knows where she
Okay,
can
just
stay,
use my username
expects her to stay there, and has that address folded into the larger monitoring setup. So this is not one of those situations where somebody casually bounces from place to place and updates people later. The court wants the residence fixed. I mean, you combine that with the curfew, the GPS monitor, and the travel limits, it becomes obvious the court wants a very clear picture of where she should be and when. One of the more specific restrictions involves social media. Ash cannot post about the details or facts of the case online. That does not mean she is banned from the internet completely, but it does mean the case itself is off limits. And honestly, that part makes sense because when legal situations start spilling into social media from the person actually in the case, things can get chaotic fast. The court clearly does not want that turning into a public free-for-all. She can still be online, but talking about the facts and details of the case is a no. And because that restriction is written into the bond conditions, breaking it would not just be messy, it could become another violation. Which is about how the court does not care about charges. The court cares about compliance. And there is the financial side, because these entire setup costs. First, there was the roughly $2,500 used to post a 10% $25,000 bond. Then you have the monthly pretrial supervision fees, which can run around $40 to $60. Then random drug and alcohol testing, which can cost around $10 for some tests and closer to $50 for others. Then the scrub alcohol monitor itself, which can run around $300 to $400, or roughly $10 to $15 a day. There was also mention of a one-time fee connected to getting the monitor instead of spend an extra money they have to pay to speed that process up so she could go home. So when you add all that together, this is not some tiny inconvenience. That can easily run into several hundreds of dollars a month. The estimated supervision and monitoring costs was around $500 monthly. So yes, the court tightened the rules, but it also attached a bill to every layer of that control. At this point, freedom is not free, it is itemized. And this is really the biggest thing hanging over everything now. The court already revoked her bond once. That changes the whole atmosphere around these conditions because it is no longer theoretical. The judge already showed a willingness to act when the rules are broken. So if she violates any of these updated terms, the curfew, the travel limits, the alcohol ban, the monitoring conditions, the social media restrictions, the bond could be revoked again. And if that happens, the results could be immediate jail custody. At that point, the court will not be feeling especially generous about another release because second chances are one thing. Third chances start looking like paperwork with clown music under it. So here's where the case stands now. Ashtrevino is out again, but the terms around her release are much tighter than before. The court found that she violated her earlier bond, and that led to her being booked back into jail. After that, a new bond was set at a $25,000, and she got out after posting the 10%. Now she's under Ellis County pretrial supervision, which means this whole situation comes with a lot of more structure and a lot less room for errors. She is wearing a GPS ankle monitor to track where she goes.
Fucking vibes.
A scrap monitor that checks for alcohol every 30 minutes. Her schedule is restricted too. She has to be home from 2 p.m. to 6 a.m. and she has to stay in Ellis County, and the surrounding county unless she gets permission to do so. She also cannot be pregnant, so she had to give up her passport. On top of that,
I do got the money, but I want more money. Just to like fall back on the thing.
She is also subject to testing.
Why?
The law also restricted where she can go.
I'll put my headphones on in a bit. I don't want to have my headphones on all the time.
She has to stay at the residence, tied to her bond conditions, and is not allowed to post about the facts or details of the case online. So that is the position she is in now. She is not back in the same mean setup she had before. Everything around her reduces more control now. And really the question
I'll be back, y'all. Maybe. If my other website isn't like, my other stream on the other website isn't popping, I'll come back here. I wish I had here too.
If the rules are broken again, the next consequence might not come with another easy road back out. And with the case still ahead, all the pressure is now sitting right on her shoulders. So for now, she's out. But she's out.
Oh, that's fine if it's there.
It's testing, supervision, and a court that already looks irritating. And that's not exactly the kind of freedom you celebrate too loudly.
I'll be back, y'all.